Hi everybody, Zach here for another episode of our flagship program, The Spideydude Experience. This episode is brought to you by our loyal patrons over at patreon.com/SpideyDude Network. Pledge today and get both early access to content on the main channel, as well as entirely exclusive content, like brand new shows and commentaries for old Spidey stuff, including commentaries for the MTV series, for example, as well as the video editions for Voices from the Area Gargoyles podcast. And our Patreon first show focused on the Krakoan era of X-Men. We also want to encourage you to check out our other programs that are all available on Audio Edition. These are all over on Spideydude.com, and they're available on your favorite podcasting app. Shows like Clone Saga Chronicles, the show that started this entire network, Spectacular Radio, Spectacular Sal Buscema era podcast Amazing Spider-Man Classics, the Slot Symposium, and the sister program on this channel, Make Mine Mayday. As always, be sure to hit the like button. It really does help us big time in the algorithm. And additionally, if you have topics you'd like to cover on a live show or in a recorded medium, make sure to leave a comment down below the description or shoot us an email at SpideyDudeRadioNetwork@gmail.com. Finally, make sure to join our community. Be alerted to all new updates by hitting that subscribe button and clicking on the bell. But to be clear, your viewership is more than enough for us. And if you want to hang out with us off YouTube, you can always go to our Discord, where we have all sorts of fun stuff, or you can join us on our social medias and follow us there. All the links are down in the description below. As always, we want to be making some references to visual aids and or live comments. If you're an audio listener, pay that no mind, but leave that 5-star review for us. Any and all feedback we will read on technical difficulties. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another edition of the Spideydude Experience. I am Zach Joyner, and if you're watching us on YouTube Vertical, this is our first time broadcasting in the dual formats. So we're going to be on horizontal for you normal people, and then the I guess considering the vertical video is now normalized, I suppose that those are the normies. But we are tonight going to be talking about Amazing Spider-Man. We'll talk a little bit about some hot toys that are kind of fun to talk about and discuss. But as always, I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Adam. Hello, Adam.
Hey, I guess so. Phone users are abnormal now.
I know. And we also have a Mr. Extra Grumpy. Who I cannot hear. Adam, can you hear him?
He's muted. No.
we cannot hear you, my friend.
Reset your thing. Replug it in.
It's got to be a setting on StreamYard.
Right. Or can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hear you now.
Oh,
yes.
This is what happens when you pay $20 for a microphone.
So Duke the Legend's already in the chat. Says, "What's on my shirt? It is Ben Reilly with the hoodie up."
Nice.
This was a gift.
Yeah.
I don't know where it came from. I think a Redbubble was actually where it's from. So, hello, Duke the Legend.
I like how the vertical makes my green screen look really good.
Yeah, it kind of does. Can you guys see the vertical stuff on the side?
I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. I don't know what you guys can and can't see.
Nice.
Yeah, it's right off to the side. It's like, man, my CPU is probably now more in overdrive than it was before.
Yeah. I had to give my computer some asthma medicine before we start the show.
So, all right, let's talk a little bit about some hot toys, shall we? If you are a fan of the 77 series of Nicholas Hammond, well, you're in luck, because we have
this figure looks better than the actual live action version.
The actual show.
I honestly think they did the lenses better than the show. The thing. I think the lenses look better than they did in the show.
Yeah, so they have two different sets of lenses. So you have the ones that are like, hang on, I think it's in this one, that have like the dots on them. And then you have the ones that are not, that have like the actual clear lenses.
I think in the actual show, I think I think what they did for the figure is they made the lenses more ovular, and I think they're a lot more smaller and rounder in the show.
Yeah, the show.
So
In the show, the lenses were
Spidey-like.
rounder.
Yeah. So that looks cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's
A really cool figure. That's a really cool
really
figure.
insanely cool figure, but not to be outdone, because if you're going to do one, you've got to do the other. And I've already kind of like thrown it up on the screen, but they are also going to do the Toei Spider-Man, the Japanese Spider-Man with the openal spider bracelet.
That looks great too.
This looks exceptional. I mean, this looks they're both essentially the same costume. This is one of those times where you can get away with reuse. And it's not like Hot Toys does this a lot, but yeah, I think this is pretty exceptional. I mean, it's like, now they're not cheap. Let's be clear. They are very expensive.
That means Zach's going to buy 2.
Oh no, I don't allow myself to get into the Hot Toys market, because if I do, I will be really broke. There's only one Hot Toy that I would ever buy.
The Insomniac Ben Reilly.
Yeah.
What did we know was going to be a Ben Reilly figure?
And that looks great too. Is the thing. Like, they all look good. They're all very
let me just
accurate to the source material, video games and live action shows, etc.
I always like figures with actual cloth costumes. I mean, when they do the cloth costume, they look wonderful. I prefer that over the molded figures. It gives you a real tactile feeling for the figure. It is visually pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Hot Toys Scarlet Spider.
It looks like the Japanese one.
Move the.
Oh, I gotta remove the overlay. There we go. Oh, there we go. All right, there it is. Yeah, this is the Ben Reilly from the game. And just as an example, because I'll just do this on the same screen.
Godzilla!
Oh, man. No Way Home. So this is the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, the Toby.
That looks good. I know some people. I've seen people in the community be like, "Oh, like I think that. I mean, I think this is a good mask. Like, it's better than the movie one." But people have said like, "Oh, it doesn't look enough like, you know, the classic one.
Yeah,
like it doesn't look quite like the one in the movie, which everyone has a problem with because they messed with it. But like some people have been like, oh, it's not as good. But I think it looks. I think for what this figure is, it honestly looks great.
First of all, here's my gripe with that mask issue, is that they couldn't go get. It's not like that these costumes are exactly durable and can last a number of years. It's not like they can sit there and go grab the same costume that he wore in 2005. Right.
Well, they technically do have those still. They maybe don't have the files for the print.
Yeah.
To like, redo it. Because I heard that they lost like some of those. At least from the third movie, maybe.
Is that true, Javi? All 600 Hammond are gone already?
Really?
The Hammond figures are sold out, apparently.
According to Javi in our chat.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Hang on.
Damn.
Sold out. Quit yelling at me, Neil, or come on here and take over. Sold out. Yeah. So pretty wild that they only had 600. I'm kind of surprised they had such a limited run on those.
Well, times are tough.
Swinging all the way in from 2012. It's the Amazing Spider.
I didn't expect to have a video.
Materials are expensive, maybe. I don't know.
No.
So
maybe they
He
thought
was.
too that it would be kind of like a there wouldn't be too much of a market for it because it's kind of it feels like, I mean, there's definitely a fan base for this, but it's I'd say it's on like the more underground side of the Spidey fandom, you know.
Oh,
Not a lot
you'd
of
be
people talk about it.
surprised. You're talking about people of my generation that actually, when that came out, was like the only live action
Yeah.
Spider-Man we ever had. We're the one with the disposable income,
Hopefully,
and
yeah.
we, well, some of us.
Yeah.
We'd be like, yeah, to relive our childhood. Yeah, we buy that stuff, which is why Zach should do a review of the '70s Spider-Man show, because you get a lot of older people who will make donations.
I was thinking that would be actually, because you mentioned this figure yesterday in our chats, and I figured actually that's a short enough show that would be a good Patreon first show, another commentary show.
Yeah, Zach. No, I'm not going to let that go.
We've got some plans for Patreons. Don't worry. So that's the Green Goblin figure, by the way, that I've got up on the screen for audio listeners.
That looks good.
That looks really good.
Yeah.
They all look
Yeah.
good. That's the thing. These are like the highest quality collectible figures you can get. So they're even if they're not you know, totally what you want, they're high quality and they look good.
You also got to remember, these are figures. You're not going to expect 100% accuracy. Okay, because
these are damn close.
Well, on these,
Yeah.
I will say this: on these, there is
like
a
that
level.
looks like the video game, unless they actually, because sometimes they use models, right? To like, you know, they don't they sometimes use models for these before they
Yes.
actually, you know, show the figure. But I think the figure looks pretty much
Good God.
God, Zach, stop playing your personal videos.
I'm not trying to. Apparently, there is a wait list on.
maybe it'll come back.
Yeah, I don't think they were really expecting the turnout that you got. I think it was like,
so.
and they're like,
That's what I
oh my
think.
God.
So
I think people are aware of that show, but I do think that they're like, oh, like this is kind of, you know, we'll see how this goes. That's why it's limited, but then it's sold out, so it's like, well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
There's clearly an audience for it.
They're gonna have to.
Yes, I mean, it's like I said, it's something like my age group remember, because it came out in the '70s, and it's a nostalgia connection to your childhood. And it's like I remember sitting down when it premiered, and my dad was the one that came across it, and me and my dad sat there and watched it.
Nice.
And they have also got things like the statue. Like this is the statue of like the '60s show.
Of course, they have to do the meme pose.
Yeah. Well, that's because that's how people know the '60s show now.
Yeah, they don't know it.
The '60s show has been, I would say, more popular than the '70s show in the past 20 years. But now everyone knows the memes from the '60s show, specifically the point. So
yeah. So the interesting thing is that if you ask people what was the first live action Spider-Man, they'll go.
Yeah, they'll go Toby, but it's really not Toby.
No.
All right.
And they're shocked when they find out there was actually a live action TV series. So
yep. My least favorite. I hate this costume.
Yeah,
I know Javi loves it. That's why he said you coward.
I like it, honestly, I think.
Oh, look, it's Spider Basketball Boy.
Yeah.
Show ASM 1. Yeah, within hours it's waitlisted. Japanese is 12 or 1500 edition.
Yeah, because more people know the Japanese show, I think, than the '70s show. Well, they're both the '70s show, but I think the Japanese show, because that has a lot more memes and just virality.
Don't worry, Neil. Zach said pre-show he's going to buy you at least 3 of those figures.
Funny.
Merry Christmas, Neil. You filthy bastard.
No, I'm not buying anybody anything. They're getting a firm handshake from me for Christmas.
We're all getting coal from Zach for Christmas.
I mean, that probably equals out.
Have you seen there? Speaking of the 60s show, there is a meme where he's like standing over a chimney. He's like, "You're getting shit for Christmas." That's Zach.
All right, so I'm gonna close the tab.
What are you gonna get for Christmas? I'm gonna wash your underwear for Christmas. Here you go. We're gonna wrap it up.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the elephant in the room.
I'm not leaving the show.
Oh man!
Damn it! But no, let's talk about what we have to talk about here tonight, which is the main event of the show.
That's the elephant in the room. The
the actual show is the elephant in the room.
The actual issues of the episode. So let me fix the. There we go. So we are obviously going to be talking about ASM 15, Volume 7, 15, and 16, not to be confused with Volume 5, 15, and 4, 15, Volume 3, 15. Although we're very much approaching the point by the end of next month where we can't make the joke anymore because there's no Volume 15, 19. Because Volume 3 only ran for 18 issues.
Right. Yeah, that was weird. Well, it was weird that they kept going with those the spiral point issues, which I didn't finish reading, but
on the next slot symposium.
We're a long way away from that.
I know.
from Volume 3.
Yep.
We'll do slot symposiums, man. Ish.
So let's talk a little bit about the
What are you doing?
yeah, that overlay poopy.
That was a good discussion. Thanks for being at the show. There was the grades. We'll see you next time. How's that? We got it through.
All right, so let's talk about issue number 15. So, as I will be the one to do the recap of this issue, as always, because Neil is not here to BS his way through the recaps. I must do it. So,
hey Neil, can you just do an audio versions of the recaps and we can just play that and we just go that way? I guess not.
No.
It's too
So
late now.
our issue opens with Peter Parker running in, saying, "Aunt May," and then Aunt May is set ablaze, which is probably the favorite single panel of Extra Grumpy's life. Peter Parker wakes
I
up.
was going to save your life.
Yeah.
The only on this podcast.
Yeah, I have
I don't mind an extra crispy Aunt May.
falling out, but at what cost? I mean, so all right, so we have extra crispy Aunt May. Rocket Raccoon comes and talks to Peter, says, "Hey, we gotta get Marty, it's your kids. We gotta get to the future." And then we get the previously page with the Amazing Spider-Man. And you know what I noticed about this previous page, and I know because Neil's in the comments, I'm going to make this comment. They made the previous page more gradient, something that I think they stole from Neil. Just saying. All right. I'm not saying they listen to the show, but maybe they're listening to the show. So, yeah. Those were, yes, on the, if we're talking about the 77 series, yes, the web shooter was on the outside of the gloves.
And that's accurate for the show, by the way.
Yes. The belt and the web shooter were actually outside the gloves.
He might be talking about the issue 16 cover too, which
yeah. Which we'll get to in it. Which we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah.
So we have Peter in his costume, with Rocket Raccoon. Suddenly they're in this like gladiatorial deal where he has a green-skinned girl. So Peter's then forced to fight this giant ass monster. And I gotta say, Peter whips ass. Like, absolutely whips this guy's ass. And then we get this montage scene of like Peter's like memories mixed in with like the whatchamacallit,
the suit, because he realizes that it gets the gladiator fight. They're like, oh, there are 3 people in the fight, and he's like, what? And they're talking about the suit, because the suit is an alien species.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, you said, Dr. Starblood, you said it was just like a husk, it wasn't like an actual living thing anymore. And he's like, no, it is. And he's like, well, I want it to be, I want it to be cognizant again. I want it to, be a sentient being again. So he's like, well, just reset it then. So he does that. And there's kind of like they're both like living each other's memories, essentially.
Yes. And so then Glitch gives Peter the techno suit, like a version of the techno suit, and then, continues to beat ass. And then we have meanwhile back at the ship, because you demanded it,
because we're in space.
We're in space. Then the green skinned girl decides to make out with Peter, and that's the end of the issue.
Well, that one mysterious figure looks on.
The one that's that's been teased like this
There's
is
a few
the
issues
champion,
ago.
blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Because you demanded it. We're getting a resolution in 2 months.
Which is not freaking creepy at all.
I do want to give a shout out to a certain individual who is in the chat named Javier Trujillo from Austin, Texas. And so that's worth buying this book alone.
Right.
To read Javi's musings in Amazing Spider-Man. Congratulations to Javi. As well as nope, he wasn't in this one. I was surprised. I thought our friend Mr. Comics 89 was going to be on the show, or on the letters page. He's probably in the next one. He's trying to outdo Peter, Chi-Town Spidey Peter. So that leads us to issue 60. So these are 2 separate stories. So do we want to kind of
we can talk about this one first?
Yeah, let's talk.
Yeah, let's tackle each one individually, because each one has their own unique issues.
Yeah.
All right. Adam, your thoughts, my friend, while I throw up.
Don't throw up. You're done reading the book.
While I put up the variant covers for the issue.
I think I would like this book better if it wasn't a Spider-Man book, because it just doesn't feel like Spider-Man, That's kind of all I really have. I mean, it's fine, but it's just, I don't know. It's just, oh, Peter in space, Spider-Man in space, and it's just it's been such a long arc that I don't know. It feels like filler. Kind of like both the issues kind of feel like filler. We've talked about this before, but I don't know. It's just, it's Spider-Man in space fighting a monster and like kind of getting along with his teammates. I don't know. It's fine. It's Peter Parker. It's weird. Like,
it's Peter Parker as a Guardian of the Galaxy.
Yeah, and it's like it feels like a Guardians of the Galaxy book, I guess. I feel like this is what I've never read a Guardians of the Galaxy book, but this kind of feels like that. And I think I would like it better if it was a Guardians of the Galaxy book and not a Spider-Man book. Like him making out with the alien woman is endearing, I guess.
What are you doing?
And it's like, I don't know, the makeout thing, like it's kind of cute, but I don't know, it just feels.
Listen, let me mess with the presets, Grumpy. The problem is,
oh yeah, you took half of Adam's face off.
Half of my face is already off, kind of on the mold, but that's fine.
Yeah. So
But yeah, I don't know. It just like I mean the thing is I don't know the way these characters are written. Just it some of this stuff just feels like been there, done that. I don't know. Like I just don't. The way these characters are written, like even like the alien woman being like, you know, how she is, and then like in the guy, like the alien gladiator, you know,
Blob.
no,
Oh, the
guy that like is emceeing the gladiator thing.
Oh yeah, so like Mojo Light guy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like this kind of stuff. I'm just kind of not into it. I don't know. Like it feels
pretty
old
though.
Yeah, the art, I like Laiso's artwork. He's good. I'm glad they're keeping him around.
I mean, I'll start off with some positive. The artwork, it was really good. I mean, I like the artwork a lot.
I don't mind Laiso being a part of the rotation,
but
he's good.
To go off on Adam here, it feels like an X-Men book. This would be a much better X-Men story because X-Men deal with space a lot.
Yeah.
So Neil says in the chat, Guardians reader here. It's Diet MCU Guardians.
Yeah, sure. But like, I mean, you think about all the stuff that's happened to Space Peter. I guess that's what we'll call him, Space Peter.
Actual
Peter. Yeah, it's a lot like an X-Men story from like the 80s, 90s, where they're like going to space every other week and hooking up with alien girls. I mean, I said something into chat earlier that Peter Parker is cosplaying as Captain Kirk because he's hooking up with the green girl.
Right.
And it's like
that's fun. Like it.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's unnecessary. Like we know this is like doomed to fail. There's no point to it. There's no freaking way that the everyman would be bringing this green-skinned hoe back to Earth and being like, "Hey, Aunt May, here's my new girlfriend. We're not going to be racist though, because she's green."
Green.
I'd be into that. See, I'd be into that if the book had already established, like if this were not a Spider-Man book, I'd be more into this. I think it just doesn't. It feels so like oddball for Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's
like it doesn't.
Peter. Peter's getting
the alien I'm banging.
Don't worry, she only will eat a little bit of your face.
Joe Kelly really wants to have an alien girlfriend. There was a death, now this, and like,
it is totally unnecessary.
I don't get like why Joe Kelly wants to hook Peter up with some cosmic chick.
Yeah.
I don't get why Joe Kelly wants him to hook up with 5 freaking women at the same time.
I mean,
he's not as bad as some of the others.
There's this. I feel like
exactly. What Shay? Who? I mean, we're supposed to give a shit about Shay.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
you're not.
Like, well, we're super casual. Well, Peter's being extra super casual. How much more casual can you be if you're banging a space alien?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, the best
orifices. I have questions.
Well, my question is, if we're going to start the next issue with Peter saying that'd be $200, please.
No.
I guess we'll find out in a couple of weeks whenever the next.
Because they're acting like Peter's a freaking gigolo. He's hooking up with everybody.
This is my one criticism of the Kelly run is that since Brand New Day, and shout out to Josh Bertoni over at the Popverse. He's done a deep dive on the Brand New Day, interviewed all the power players that were involved with it, and can kind of give you like a written oral history of. Sorry, as my dog is scratching. And so he did a lot of work. It's several months worth of interviews that he did to prep for them. But since that era, there's been this, and Kelly has been bad about this. We've got to, since Peter's single, we got to have him shag up with whoever. And to bring up a point that Duke says in the chat, Peter Parker is not Johnny fucking Storm.
Right. That's different. That's basically two different universes. Like the Fantastic Four go to space every other week, like the X-Men.
They treat it like it's
Peter's racist. He's anti-alien girlfriend. But no, it's getting back to the issue. I mean, are we really surprised that Peter's suit was an alien, a Technoverse, or those that are like New Mutants fans, the second cousin of Warlock? You know, were we really surprised about that?
I think some people.
I mean, yeah, that was.
I think newer readers would be surprised about that. Like people that are just now picking up the book and don't know a lot about that kind of stuff, they would be surprised about that.
Yeah.
I mean, there were hints to it. I mean, the way that the way the suit's behaving, and as someone that was actually a big fan of that character, Warlock, it was kind of like, yeah, I can see it. But you know, what they left out the part with you, basically,
here, nobody was surprised. Neil, instead of being in the chat, you could, I don't know, come join us.
Did you just have a seizure?
Yes.
But it's someone that's a little bit more familiar with the lore of the New Mutants. Sorry, Neil, you decided not to be here, so I get to do the lore. If you are like part combined with the techno aliens, you get infected with their virus. It becomes part of you.
Neil is like passively listening to us.
Yeah.
Like I can see
he's
him.
probably working on the thumbnail, maybe, and then he's gonna say, "I'm not working on the thumbnail." Earlier, he was like, "Oh shit, we need a thumbnail for this."
Neil wants to take my place as a troll in the chat.
I texted him, and he was like, "Hey, is it in the drive?" And he's like, "Shit, fuck, no."
Yeah. Maybe he's working on it now, but then he'll say, "No, I'm not." So anyway.
But overall, my thoughts on this issue.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I knew it.
He's also going to upload the new Patreon slides. So
good.
My overall thoughts of this issue: it would be a lot better X-Men book than a Spider-Man book. I'm not saying it's poorly written, but there's a lot of moments in here you kind of just like tilt your head out and go, "This doesn't jive really with the whole character of Peter."
This is exactly what Venkman says, and it's wheel spinning.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah. The thing is, this should be a one-shot in like the 80s or the early 90s. This is like a Web of Spider-Man one-shot, like that one that like he plays football with the aliens or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I haven't read, but
like, oh God, I have read it. It's been a while, but to me, here's where I think this is like Spectacular Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man.
Because the special is better.
Where this would be a classic Spectacular Spider-Man story.
Yeah.
And instead of us getting one story with ASM, it's basically doing two stories with ASM every month, which is fine.
Right.
But I am far more interested in what's in the next issue than I am with Peter banging. Now yeah. There is a thing that I love in this issue, and I will say this, and this is not me just because I know this was talked about on Crawlspace too on their most recent episode, but
it was
Peter actually kicks ass in this issue.
Oh yeah,
Peter actually doesn't hold back. Peter actually acts like
does something.
Yeah. Well, he actually also acts like the Peter Parker that beat Firelord.
Right.
I will say Peter is actually also written in character throughout this story. Not
taking charge as a leader, which is nice.
Which is the exact opposite of what we've gotten thanks to the man
On
who's
Earth.
about to turn to Marvel. Congratulations, everybody, in Brian Michael Bendis, who basically made Peter Parker being a giant, overgrown man baby that has to be the butt of every joke and isn't a leader. He's just there for comic relief purely because he couldn't write an adult fucking Peter Parker when he was writing Avengers. And then everybody, I know it's two. I know it's two. Shut up. I
feel like that would be...
But we also, like the two biggest mistakes that Marvel made involving Brian Michael Bendis was thinking that you had to start writing him as an overgrown man baby.
Yeah.
And that
he was a pun factory.
Ultimate Spider-Man was the real Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
what I would say, I don't really have... I mean,
I say this as somebody who enjoyed Ultimate. Don't get misunderstand. But I enjoyed Ultimate as a separate universe, not as a replacement for the Marvel universe.
As someone who has not read Bendis's Avengers, I kind of... I mean, I don't have any strong feelings, but what I would say to, like, try to defend him is, like, if you're going to have a team with a bunch of disparate personalities, I guess it would sort of make sense to make Spider-Man the goofy, like, no one likes him jokester, you know?
Well,
miscarriage, it sucks, but it's like, well, you know, you have all these heavy on the new Avengers team, you have all these heavy hitters, including Spider-Man, and it's like, well, Spider-Man's known for being, like, jokey and stuff, and, like, people, like, kind of don't trust him or whatever, so I guess it would make sense for him to be, like, the guy that everyone makes fun of, and he would be the annoying one.
This is a mistake a lot of writers make with Spider-Man. They focus on him making jokes, but they forget there are times when Peter as Spider-Man gets serious, and you start to worry when he stops making jokes.
Sure.
Okay. All right. But a lot of writers nowadays, it's like, oh, we got to toss up puns left and right.
Yeah.
It's when he's in that costume, you got to remember, it's still Peter Parker. And when he gets pissed off, the jokes stop. Mm-hmm. He doesn't talk. He just, like, goes and I'm going to kill him. And all of a sudden, he's like, no, that's not me. I am not going to rip this guy's head off. Okay, no words. He almost goes into Norman territory, which we'll get into the next issue. But he prevents himself from going there because he doesn't want to be a killer. Okay, he doesn't want to be the Punisher. Okay.
Yeah.
But a lot of writers now taking cues from Bendis's Avengers run. I enjoyed most of Bendis's Avengers run. There were some good moments in there, but he never pushed Spider-Man forward. He always have him over there in the corner. Hey, we need a quip right now.
Well, I feel like the thing is, like, that I would argue you very, you know, weakly that, like, that's not the book where you push Spider-Man, you know? Well, like, where you don't, like, have him grow, you know what I mean? Like, it would be nice it's a team book, like, I don't know, like,
as a Major League Avengers reader, every Avengers run, I mean, you got an ensemble cast, and typically there's one or two stories that highlights a certain member of the Avengers. You never got that with Bendis's run. I mean, most of the growth of Captain America, Hawkeye, the Vision, Scarlet Witch happened in Avengers books. They didn't have other than Captain America, they didn't have their own series.
Right.
Wonder Man, all the stuff with Wonder Man happened in an Avengers book.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
I mean, I get that, like, but I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, Spider-Man, like, even though they wanted to do the thing where, all the Avengers are heavy hitters this time, and, you know, now finally, like, the Avengers is like a legit team. I mean, they were always a legit team, but, you know, it's like now we have all the main Marvel characters in the Avengers, and it's like, well, I don't know.
I feel like
it's a modern sentiment. You know, like it's more the fault of it being like a 2000s thing. Like maybe if it was earlier, like when you know,
I mean,
maybe it would
just so
have
you
been
know,
different.
this is Spider-Man didn't join the Avengers when Bendis started. He was in Avengers before.
Yeah, I know.
He
Yeah,
was
like 80s.
he was
a reserve member, right?
Yeah, he was every once in a while he'll pop up in the book.
Yeah.
When we needed him, but overall, I think the worst thing that Bendis did was the decompression. Like this story here in the 80s, 3 issues.
Yeah.
That's it. It'd be 3 issues. I mean, it's like keep it moving along, conclude it. What's the results of it? Move on from that. Use parts of it that we need to use. But I don't see anything in Space Peter, really, helping to move forward this whole thing to fight the reject from Captain Planet. Okay, I really not seeing it.
Yes, that is the thing. Like, there's nothing. I mean, they kind of start getting into it at the end of this issue. It's like, oh, we need to get back to that making me stronger thing that we talked about earlier. But yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah. Zach.
The book just feels. It has to be. I don't know if it has to be said again because we keep saying it all the time. But I feel like when we say these things all the time, it's because it's more or less true that like it just feels like it's buying time for something else.
And
it's a novel, cool-ish idea, and it's like, okay, well, how do we stretch this out to, you know, get closer to 1,000? I don't know.
If I was going to say anything,
I don't want to be that negative about it, but
if I want to say anything about the Space Peter arc, this is more like a popcorn film type thing. It's not bad. It's just there's no real substance here for like. Is this going to be a long-lasting thing, or is this just like a, hey, this is hip and cool, let's try it out type thing, you know?
It's something like, oh, this is different that we've never really done before for a long-running arc, so let's finally do it. But the problem is that it then feels like it really feels out of place in Amazing Spider-Man, to me.
In fairness, Space Peter's only been 3 issues. It's the alternation between that and the Spider-Norman stuff that gives out the illusion of it being way longer, and that's true.
That is true. Yes.
I mean, it's gonna I think be 6 months by the time we're done with the story arc.
Yeah.
Which is what this would have like if we're doing Amazing Spider-Man for 12 issues. Space Peter for 12 issues.
Going back and forth, because this is the quintessential thing of like, okay. We're not gonna we got rid of everything other than Amazing Spider-Man. Now we've got 2 different books as Amazing Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
And honestly, I mean, some people have demanded that too. So I mean, we're kind of getting, but I think
but now that we're seeing it in, it's like like I don't know if this works.
Right? It's like because like okay, how are you going to collect this story?
Right.
Are you going to collect it?
I think they might do it like separately, like I
would think they would have to.
Yeah, because it doesn't get weird otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, this is like
the 2 stories aren't really like interconnected.
There's no interconnected tissue other than Peter's off somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, the Norman story sounds like a spectacular Peter Parker story back in the day. That would be under that title.
Like a DeMatteis type story.
Yeah. And the Space Peter does kind of feel like would belong in Amazing Spider-Man, to be honest with it, because his focus more on him and being a costume than it actually has to deal with his personal life, which is what's more or less what's happening over there in Norman Land. Yeah. Since we're let's go ahead and talk about Norman.
All right. Well, I was doing my prep for the recap of this issue. Right. So that's what I was rereading. So today, spoilers for today's issue. If you don't want to be spoiled, this is your spoiler warning.
Turn it off and come back later.
Yep. I'm gonna give you the tag. All right, here we go. Amazing Spider-Man number 16, legacy number 980. Oh. All right, RX Plague RX prescribes pain. All right, let me
Sure he does.
Yep, he does. He prescribes the pain. So we're going to throw the cover back up on the screen. So if you're audio or if you're vertical listener, you're seeing nothing but the cover on the screen. So we're covering this. All right. Amazing Spider-Man 980. Scott, Hanna, and John Romita Jr. are back with Joe Kelly. Marcio Menyz is doing the colors. We open in New York City. Dawn comes to a city that does not sleep. In Peter Parker's apartment, we see a man's feet, possibly, definitely on the walls. We have Aunt May's apartment, she's getting a random text, and then Tombstone's mansion, kind of separating everything out. Meanwhile, at a secret lab in Midtown, there's a spider hanging around a corn-rolled, mysterious man. It's Norman. While Peter is talking with somebody while walking on the walls, we get Aunt May's texting, and then we get Tombstone. He's working out his upper body. He's doing his chest and his arms, his triceps, his biceps. Meanwhile, it feels like we're getting an audio recording coming from the spider to Norman. So then we have Ben Reilly talking to Janine, saying, of all the people he could have picked, why him? He asked me to be Spider-Man last time. So again, like Ben seems to have more of his memories. I got a lot of questions. Then you get Aunt May, getting the text message and her hanging out with her significant other. Tombstone kind of talking to himself about how, there was understanding between the two of them, that there's something wrong with them, hate that this is on his mind, but he can't he can't let it hang around anymore. So he's owed that much. He owes him because obviously Peter didn't kill him. The other spiders, are giving him the benefit of the doubt, but you're not Spider-Man, Mr. Osborn. So I think this is a recording of Peter or one of the other spiders.
No, I think it's the other ones.
Yeah, I think it's either Miles or
it's not Peter. Peter doesn't know what's happening on Earth.
Yeah. So Ben is kind of struggling and having an existential crisis. Aunt May is like, you want to meet my 60-year-old step grandson? Yeah, because we got to be reminded that JJ is actually a junior and not a senior. So Tombstone says we settle up today. The other spider says, please stop doing what you're doing or we're going to make you stop. Meanwhile, we get amazing fantasy 15 pose with Norman as Spider-Man jumping around. So Norman saves a couple construction workers. Meanwhile, at Rand Corporation, Peter and his not best friend, George Santos, they get their experiment to work that they've been working on for several issues. Ben is kind of annoyed because Peter's getting all the credit for this, even though it's actually Ben that was doing it. We go to Central Park where Norman and the big doctor that we were supposed to give a shit about, that may or may not be a love interest for Peter in the future, love interest number 6. Basically, we find out that her son is got some sort of terminal disease, and that Norman, empathizes and sympathizes with her, but then he gets a phone call, so he has to go. Turns out, he's meeting with Tombstone using I think a prototype of Shocker's gauntlet to get his attention. Meanwhile, and then we get good old Jigsaw Jameson in the best of way, trying to have a discussion, saying that Peter needs an intervention, not realizing that Peter is not Spider-Man, that Peter is suddenly in space. Aunt May basically says, don't mansplain to me. I'm a mother at the end of the day, and my child is suffering, and he's going to come around to it when he comes around to it. I have some theories about this. Stay tuned. We then get a confrontation between Tombstone and Norman. Tombstone realizes very quickly that this is not your granddaddy's Spider-Man. RX, plagued RX, decides to give him some sort of blood disease. Norman says, I live with pain, and then punches the crap out of him.
Ben then starts looking at his experiment and, is having that existential crisis before will to be continued in a month before we get the conclusion of this story. So before we get to the rest of the review, there is a fourth person that did leave a review right quick. So let me play their video right quick.
Hey, Spidey friends. Just wanted to chime in with a few quick thoughts on today's issue of Amazing Spider-Man. I think it's 16. It's the Norman and Ben Reilly issue, not the Peter in Space issue. But I read it this morning or this afternoon, and it just really caught me off guard because I understand the criticism that we've seen a lot of this before. Like, we've had the Superior Spider-Man with Doc Ock as Spider-Man, and we've certainly seen Ben Reilly try and live as Peter Parker. And while I feel like there is a bit of a gap between how Chasm got to being Peter. Like, we haven't gotten that story yet, and that's kind of interesting. Like, what does he remember? And as the issue progressed, I had thoughts of, well, Ben is getting credit for, or rather, Peter's getting credit for what Ben is doing, similar to how Peter got credit for what Otto did during the Superior Spider-Man arc, and he had to come clean about it. And then we have Norman as Spider-Man, which is like Doc Ock as Spider-Man. This isn't an original thought. I mean, lots of people have been complaining about that, which on the surface it feels really valid, but like this issue, instead of feeling tired, it felt fresh to me. Like there's a new angle that we're exploring that's making this, what seems like repetition, feel really fresh. One, we don't know what Ben's going to do with with the credit, or we don't know what he did at the end of the issue, but it's not like Otto doing all these things in Peter's name had one effect. Like this feels different for Ben because this could have been his life. So there's an edge to it that we wouldn't have felt back in the Superior days. And the same thing with Norman as Spidey. Like, it could feel like, well, this is just Superior Spider-Man 2.0. But what really struck me was the Norman of it all, and how he's looking at Peter for guidance, not as Otto, it's like, I can do this better than Peter. This is Norman thinking, I'm trying to live up to Peter. And, trying to meet that challenge of being a better man. Like, I actually felt like this Norman is trying to be a better person and using Peter as his North Star, as opposed to the high bar he's got to cross over and then proclaim his victory. Like, he's trying to make his own mark, but do it in a Spider-Man way. And the fact that he kept pulling himself back in, like, what would Peter do? What would Peter do? And just what really drove it home for me was when Norman was, thinking to himself, like, how did this not break Peter? Like, I want to be with my friends and help them in their time of need, but I have these other responsibilities. And to see like Norman go through that after all he's done to Spider-Man, and to realize that balance and how difficult it was, and see it through Peter's eyes, like the empathy there is really unheard of for Norman. And to see him connect with another human being over the loss of a child, to see the flashes he had of the abuse he suffered as he fought Tombstone, like, that wasn't something we would have gotten with Doc Ock. So on the surface, it may seem like we've been here before. Like, I feel like Kelly's bringing something fresh to it that I really appreciated and really resonated with me. And then to have JR back on the art, and he did the Amazing Fantasy 15 homage. And it's good to see him do like the street level Spidey fighting Tombstone. And I really enjoyed it. It might be one of my favorite issues of this Kelly run, if not the favorite. So hope you guys are doing well, both in the comments down below, in the chat, and on the panel. So that's my 2 cents on it, and hopefully we'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Thanks, Javi. We appreciate you doing the video, man. We he threw that together really quickly. He didn't know if he was going to be able to make it on the show, so he wanted to get his thoughts in there. So thanks to Javi for that. Let me unmute the boys. You guys chose to mute yourselves.
Oh yeah, me and Adam are not respectful or polite at all. Let me mansplain it to you.
Jesus. Look, I am in agreement here with Neil. He says could have done without the mansplaining drop, but only it feels like a writer trying too hard to be hip. Otherwise, this issue was pretty okay, and that's my thing. There's certain phrases that just like age like nope.
There's certain phrases that people in my age will never fucking use. Mansplaining being one of them.
Sounds like something that a man would say to mansplain towards me, sir.
Hey, someone's got to educate the young. Okay. Come on, Mr. Smartass. Let's hear snap back from that.
outside of that one line, honestly, the entire bit with May actually felt like
it felt like May.
It actually felt authentic outside of that one line. Like this would be like May's reaction to Jonah be like, dude,
who the hell are you?
Who are you? That's basically what she says in this issue without saying it implicitly. To me, what it is it's a very okay. To me, I am always going to be pro Jonah knowing, because I think it particularly with their relationship, it enhances the relationship and has evolved it. For the exact same reason, there is no reason that Aunt May should not know at this point.
Yeah.
But I kind of wonder if she's figured it out.
Right.
I think she. I'm going to be honest about it. Let me just cover this whole issue real fast. Okay. All in all, good issue. That one line kind of like dropped it. That it was unnecessary because it's not realistic. The mansplaining line is not something people in my age would say. It'd be like if Aunt May said Riz. It'd be like, we don't say that. We don't do that.
I think I was just more annoyed, honestly, that she mentioned wheat cakes. It's like, oh, we had to get a wheat cakes thing in there because it's Aunt May, you know.
But like, to be fair, this is also a woman that, like, when Stanley was writing her, she was completely clueless, and so there is an element of her using the phrase mansplaining. But to me, if we're gonna go with like clueless Aunt May, like to me, it would be her trying to say mansplaining and then like
get it wrong, because that was what she would do in that Stanley era. She would use slang in the wrong way.
Yeah. And honestly, we really didn't see that much. I mean, I think maybe Stern and maybe DeFalco in the 80s done it. But
the bad thing about that line, it took a little bit of the punch out of what she was saying. Because it made me, as a reader, it made me stop and go, what the hell is that? Don't belong there.
To me, it's one of those things where it's kind of like my irritation. I know this is going to make Javi mad because I don't know if he's still in the comments. It's kind of like how I reacted to James Gunn's Superman when I first started hearing
we know.
Blockhead. And it pissed me off because, like, I know people. I dated people from Kansas. I've known people from Kansas. Nobody from Kansas talks the way they were portrayed in the movie.
Moving on.
The moment where it literally what?
Moving on.
But what I'm trying to say is,
we've had this conversation.
For you, there, Extra Dumpy. It's a moment that takes you completely out of the issue when, for the most part, everything surrounding that particular line was cooking. Like, this is, and I know we're going to get a reunion.
Like I said, it was more the weak case. I read this pretty fast, so like the mansplaining thing, whatever. But I'm just saying, I think throwing in wheat cakes in there, I was like, oh, come on, like.
Well, I mean,
it's if, in my opinion, not to disagree with you, Adam, was her explaining her method of dealing with Peter when he
Right.
finally comes clean with what he's bothering him, she says, "Yeah, I'm gonna kick his ass, but after I get done kicking his ass, I'm gonna give him unconditional love with wheat cakes, because that's what Peter grew up with."
Right.
Okay, that's something like
And
a parent.
from a narrative
But-
standpoint, a lot of what Kelly's been
feel
doing
like
in his run so far is sort of doing a soft recalibration of Peter's childhood, right? Of adding elements to his childhood that we previously had not seen, and kind of contextualizing the relationship with Aunt May, a relationship, I might add, that has been woefully neglected for the last 15 years.
Well, it's mostly because she should be dead.
Well, even if she's not dead, like, she should know that Peter is Spider-Man at this point. Like, the best thing that's happened since the turn of the century was Aunt May finding out that Peter Parker was Spider-Man, but because of
again,
It's
the first time she died, okay, and that's what Grumpy's getting to, is that she should never have been brought back from the dead, and we can make.
Oh, it's not just that. It's about like Spider-Man '94, that series.
Yeah.
Aunt May knows.
There. Oh yeah.
Aunt May knows. Okay, but she doesn't tell Peter that she knows. I think that's kind of what's being implied here, that she knows he's Spider-Man, but she doesn't want to say to Peter, "I know you're Spider-Man," because it will add more stress to him. Okay, as much as I did love JMS's saying, having Aunt May know. It was a really good dynamic. It made the whole dynamic between Peter and Aunt May work a lot better, in my opinion. But this is also interesting with the reader going on. I think she knows. And like kind of like we probably understand why she won't say Peter, "I know you're Spider-Man," because it's just going to make things harder for him.
Can I make a prediction?
What?
Aunt May will tell Peter that he's Spider-Man, that she knows he's Spider-Man in issue 1000. That's where we're going.
Can I make another prediction?
That's gonna be the big hook for 1000.
Because we can't have him be with Mary Jane anymore, so it's got to be something that's kind of important, which would be that.
Yeah,
they haven't done that in a while, so yeah.
I make another prediction is that in issue 1000, Peter hooks up with Aunt May because he's pretty much banging everybody.
Good God! No! No!
Get that image out of your head now, folks. Okay?
No! Too far. Absolutely too far. Nope.
But I will say I like this issue a lot better than the previous one, because this one had meat to it. The psychological examination of Norman, the struggles that Ben is having, which is on point for Ben. He's living the life of his that he thinks he's supposed to have. All right, and not being true to himself. He's Peter Parker. He's not Ben Parker, and he's getting all these accolades and being called Peter, not being called Ben, which is on point of someone living in someone's shadow. And that's kind of what the current Ben. I know it kind of annoys Zach a little bit that Ben's not his own character. He always feels like he's in the shadow of Peter.
Listen, this is closer to Ben Reilly circa pre-bullshit and beyond than like, because there's the period in Beyond where he is starting to act like his normal self, and then the rug gets pulled out at the very end, and he becomes a full-on villain again.
It's sort of like you have a big brother or a sibling that's really successful, and your parents constantly bring it up to you. That's kind of what Ben's going through right now. The Norman stuff, I really enjoyed. I mean, we're getting a little bit more into the psychology of Norman Osborn that we really never got into with any of the other Norman stories. And his struggles of dealing with the past that he appears to regret, but also recognizing how fast he can go back to being that person and being like full-blown Green Goblin again, which I think in issue 1000, that's what's going to happen. Norman's going to go back to being the Green Goblin and being Peter's number one nemesis again. Okay, as much as I'm enjoying this, I know that's kind of what's going to happen. We're seeing slight hints of it, because there's a few times when he was saying, "What would Peter do?" sounded like he has a little bit of contempt for Peter. Peter always putting other people first and not thinking about himself. Okay, well, he doesn't understand why Peter would do that. I think that was a line in there that's like, why would Peter not put himself first and put other people before himself? He doesn't understand why Peter does it. So that, to me, this, other than the mansplaining line, was a pretty good issue. I do agree with, I won't necessarily, this is like the best, well, this could be the best Joe Kelly issue as a Spider-Man run, but overall, I enjoyed this a lot more than like the previous one, other than that mansplaining line. That mansplaining line just annoyed me. And this being Men's Mental Health Month, this issue is like kind of on point for that, because you see men dealing with psychological trauma, which was not really done in this way, where it actually feels a little real. So
yeah, I mean that's
silence.
Yeah, no. Adam, any further final thoughts, brother?
I mean, I don't know. I like what everyone's saying. I mean, I read it pretty quickly. I don't know. Maybe I feel like I think I'm just kind of like, I think this is better than the space stuff. I think I'm usually liking these Norman and Ben issues more than the Peter and space issues, but this one, I don't know. I think I just don't like, it feels messy to me, because it's like, oh, we need to stage an intervention for Peter, but it's, it's not Peter. So I don't, I don't like the whole characters not knowing what's really going on thing at this point, The Norman stuff is interesting and does kind of maybe set up some Green Goblin stuff going forward. Looking at it again, I think Walter's right. I don't know. I mean, it's okay. I'm not that jazzed about it, but Walter had some really good points, and Javi did too. So I don't know. It's okay. I think I'm just down on the book right now, because even this to me just feels like it's biding time. Like I've said, I don't know. This whole experiment is strange to me, and it just doesn't feel like what the Spider-Man book, the main Spider-Man book, should be.
Yeah, I get it. I do. I genuinely get it.
It kind of it's. I mean, both issues have high pros and low cons, I think. Like,
Yeah, I could say that.
Like there are some, like, even in the Space Peter stuff, there's good character development for Peter, but at the cost of him not being in the central plot of his own book. And then we're getting good character development for supporting characters at the cost of them being the star of the book and Peter being off in space. So I don't know. It feels like a weird time again for the book right now. Like the Wells run was weird, just with all that mess. But this also just feels it just feels messy plot wise. Like it's interesting, but it's just, I don't know.
I think this arc would be a lot better without Peter being in space. I mean, I think this would work a lot better if
Peter was like decommissioned.
Yeah,
like
like
commissioned like he was in the beginning of Beyond. I think it would maybe work better.
Yeah, like if after he got beaten by Hellgate so bad that he's like in a coma or something, and Norman's actually taking care of him. And instead of having this inner monologue, that we always get a few panels with Norman sitting there talking to Peter, who's unconscious and can't respond to him.
Yeah, there you go. That would be interesting, actually.
Yeah, I mean, and then
maybe cliched, but
yeah, I mean, but
like,
it'd be on point for Norman though, because Norman kind of talks to himself like in the third person when he's the Green Goblin.
Yeah, well, he's definitely going to be monologuing. That is
Yeah, so, I mean, then with the Space Peter stuff, you could do subconscious things and examine his past as he's trying to regain consciousness and explore his childhood that way.
Right.
Instead of having him in space playing Captain Kirk with the Green Girl. It's just, hey, Aunt May, you're a great Aunt May. This is my son. Oh, by the way, in 2 weeks he's going to be 150.
Yeah. So I want to. So on that note, I did want to mention and show off Neil's hard work. So this is the thumbnail for the episode. Of course,
Peter, I'm your father. This looks like Peter, I'm your father.
No.
It's not true. It's not possible.
Doesn't it? It looks like it's like something from the Empire Strikes Back.
I'm your father. All right.
Hey, Peter, you now have a technological STD.
Whoa.
I'm a new kind of virus for you.
Oh God. All right. So, just kind of going through the.
What is up with this Plague RX guy? Like, I don't know. Just a random villain. Like, I don't know.
You owe 25 years. Pay up, Parker. Which guy? What were we talking about? Adam?
Peter has a space kid out there somewhere.
Yeah.
After this arc. No, I was just like the Plague RX guy. It's like, what's his like? I don't know. It's just a random villain. It's like, do we need that? I don't know.
Yeah. Neil said even though he gets what Gelly was going for, he doesn't think that people in even his age bracket, which Neil is part of Gen Z, uses that in the spoken word.
Oh, mansplaining.
Yeah, that will teach him how to
teach
rap. God almighty. God. I pulled a I didn't read through the freaking comment before I posted it on the screen.
Brad, did you missed my prediction for issue 1000, didn't you?
Everyone knows that in space you don't need to wrap up your web shooter.
Peter's going to get a new girlfriend at issue 1000. It's going to be really close to home, if you get my meaning.
Oh, stop! No! Not ever again.
Well, they're not technically related, so.
I know that Brad is a fan of the 77 series. Did he see the article?
You're gonna say, I know that Brad is a fan of.
Brad is a fan of May and December romances.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm just muting you. No, I'm using the mute button. Executive decision. I'm asking Brad if he's seen this Hot Toys. Also, they got the Spider-Man from the 70s as well. So let me know if you see it in the comments. One more day, one more child support pay. Liz, that's not funny. Okay?
That's issue 1000 right there.
That's not funny.
It was a little funny.
Just damn. Child support.
Hey, Peter, I made you some extra spicy wheat cakes.
I did indeed see it, but it looks. It's because the lenses are different. That's 100% what it is. It's because they changed the lenses.
Hey. Okay, I'll stop. I'm sorry.
No more.
I do think it looks better.
Make
Two lenses, I think it looks better.
You'll have no child support. I don't want your marriage. I want your child support. Right?
You want to give grades now, or you want to?
Yeah, let's.
Want me to keep on with my bit? Okay.
All right, Adam, your grade, good sir. We are doing letter grades. Reminder.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I'll give them both B's, I guess.
Okay. Grade is a B. Walter. Oh no, I'm sorry. We aren't doing later grades.
Let's just do letter grades for too late.
Oh, Adam, what is your number grade? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
You're making us think too much, Mr. Joyner.
8.0.
I'll go 8.4.
8.4. Okay. All right.
How about that?
Walter.
The Space Peter one, I will have to give it a 7.8. It was okay, but it didn't really add too much to the current arc. For the Ben and Norman sitcom special, I would go an 8.5. Other than that one line, I thought that was a really good issue, and I'm really enjoying this examination of Norman and Ben's psychological trauma.
All right, so my grade for the first one is 8.1 out of 10. Just because great artwork, storyline is not there for me, but it's good. It's not great. Peter Parker kicking ass is always a highlight. The second issue though is an 8.9. And stuff really intrigues me. It really does. I feel like we're getting closer to factory settings. Kelly seems to have Ben's voice down right, which is mildly refreshing. And I'm really intrigued about what that comes next. So, yeah.
I think this is the first time in the last 3 episodes that someone gave a higher grade than me.
That's true.
Which should be shocking to Brad. I'm the one that's giving higher grades. These two, the longtime readers, are not.
The prediction from Walter is that Peter and Aunt May are going to hook up. That's the prediction.
Yeah, Mary Jane's go
reference. It's nothing. Absolutely nothing. A lifetime supply of nothing. Zilch, zilch, natto, a donut. Nothing. That's what it means. It means nothing.
Again. But this time Mary Jane's gonna walk in on them.
Oh God.
That just made Adam choke on his drink.
All right, so
not really, but it's
just unnecessary, Walter. Really unnecessary.
Blame Brad. Let's go, man. You go.
Yeah,
hey,
play Brad. It's his fault. All right, so let's talk about a Patreon page, patreon.com/Spideydude Network. As we're gonna get out of here, if you have not checked out our other fine shows, such as Make My Mayday, the show about Spider-Man and her world, Spider-Girl and her world, please check it out. As we also have our Books of X, which is the Patreon first show, got a new episode that has dropped. Speaking of Patreon exclusives, we have the video version of Voices from the Eerie. A Patreon exclusive version is the video version on Patreon. We got Amazing Spider-Man Classics, of course, our Vault series, the Clone Saga Chronicles, and Spectacular Radio. Also joining soon is going to be the Salvi Sema Era podcast, because it's going to be wrapping up its run on the internets. So, something that is new for this episode. Also, check out our Ultimate coverage of Ultimate Spideydude experience coming out whenever the next issue of Ultimate Spider-Man comes out, which we don't know when that will be.
Next month, December,
sometime in December. So
that might be the last. That might be the last thing we do this year, probably.
Yeah, that may be our last episode of the year. So, I want to thank our patrons over at patreon.com/Spideydude Network. Now, this is a new graphic that we did for the Patreons over there. So we've got the sensational tier, the friendly neighborhood tier, the spectacular tier, and the VIP. So we're going to, on the podcast, you see them all up on the screen, but I also want to mention our sensational tier. We have Allison, Cindy, Casey, Doug, Ed, Eric, Georgia, Greg, Janelle, Jessica, Joyce, Catherine, Kale, Laura Howard, Lump Moose, Master Drummond, Phoenician, RJ, Vanessa, Vicky, David, and Ian. David and Ian are the two newest sensational patrons. Thank you for your support. We have also some new friendly neighborhood tier patrons. They'll be mentioned at the beginning of the episode on the audio edition. And then we have a new spectacular patron, Ryan Reed. Thank you for your support, Ryan, as well as Tara. And then joining Vinkman and Walter in the VIP section is Lord Eric. Thank you, Lord Eric. We do appreciate you as a member of the VIP list. So if you want to join the Patreon, you can go to patreon.com. Start your free 7-day trial to check out all the perks that we get over there, including more Books of X, as well as more commentaries for our fantastic commentaries for the Unlimited Spider-Man series. We've now covered almost all of Unlimited Spider-Man Unlimited, excuse me. And all of the MTV Man series. So those are all available on patreon.com/Spidey Network. So I want to thank everybody if you've been watching us throughout the entire episode. I want to thank Spider-Man Crawlspace for their support. Love you.
Oh, you forgot something. You forgot something, Zach.
I know. I'm not putting.
No. I'm being totally serious. It has nothing related to what's been going on. If you've gotten this far, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification bell. Zach is how far from 1,000?
Let's look. As of this episode, we are 952 away. We are 48 away from 1,000 subscribers. We would love if you would come subscribe to us. I'm gonna pull the overlay off here, and go solo for a second. We are very close. A couple weeks ago.
That's what she said.
We're very close to hitting our goal. We've been trying to hit 1,000 before the end of the year. That means there's going to probably be more shorts. There's going to be more clips of the show, more content we're going to try to put out between now and the end of the year.
We need to put more. We need to put some more episodes up on the channel. Some stuff that's out there but not up on the channel yet.
Yeah, so
we're gonna
try to get the rest of the Voices from the Eerie episodes up. To make sure that you can listen to that on the show. The other thing we're going to try to do is also, I've got a couple of things that I've been working on, but losing my computer for a month kind of derailed some things. But I got some lists that I'm going to do during the weeks that we don't have a show, so that hopefully we'll have continuous content. When we get to the final episode of the year, I'll kind of go over the numbers of what we've done in terms of content wise and the production of content and stuff like that. So as we get to the close to the end of the year episode, but yeah, so my goal over the next roughly 4 weeks is to see how close we can get. And that's going to involve you, sharing the show. Sharing is caring. It's easy. Share the episodes, share the feed. Tell your friends. If you have a friend that happens to like Spider-Man, even a smidge, probably not for the kiddies, considering the amount of
I wonder why.
the amount of F-bombs I dropped in the episode.
I can't say something real fast, just to embarrass you a little bit. I know Zach works really hard on this show. Even before I became a member of the show, I know how much effort he has put into the Spideydude network. This is not, he's been doing this close for 15, 20 years. He makes a great effort to put forth great content for all his subscribers. He has a great love of the Spider-Man character. That's the reason why I am asking the people who are subscribed to on my channel that may not be 100% into Spider-Man, but you're in the same branch. You all are weebs. Back when I was growing up, weebs were called something else, geeks, which were comic book and anime fans. I think you enjoy the show a lot. Zach puts a great deal of effort. He is a really good friend of mine. So please subscribe to him.
Oh, thank you, Walter. I appreciate that. And again, I am always appreciative of people like Adam. I'm giving you a solo layout so you can wave at the camera there, Adam. Since Walter got his FaceTime, I figured I'd give you some FaceTime.
Sure.
You know, and the support I've had of different people.
Screw you, Brad. I'm a nice guy. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I've never been mean to anybody.
Hang on. No, I catch you in a lie, sir. But Brad says for the audio listeners, holy shit, Walter's being sincere. Can the internet handle it? And Zach is very close. I don't know if that's supposed to be a joke. They're Douglas. I can never tell when you're typing. But I do want to thank Brad for his support over the years. You talk about me doing this for the past 15, 20 years, and it's been nearly 20 years since I started podcasting. It's been 5 years since I've been doing this show. And slowly but surely we've continuously grown. It seems like every year we've added more and more onto the subscriber count. We got past the 950 threshold last week, and then 6 bots or something got deleted, and so a bunch of people didn't subscribe. So, we've been able to refill that. Put out a post on Facebook, put it out on Twitter, as well as put it on my personal Facebook page. So, if you can, please share the show. It really would mean a lot for us to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. We really would appreciate it. Or if you want to make a post yourself and tag us, you can always tag us on our different social medias. Speaking of social medias, let's throw those up on the screen. We've got at Spideydude Radio on Twitter. We've got at Spideydude Network on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, at Spideydude Radio Network on YouTube. If you want to leave us a voicemail like Walter likes to do when he's not on the show, 818-925-6631. That's 818-925-6631. Or if you want to do it phonetically, it's 818-9-CLONE-1, which is actually a reference to not only Clone Saga Chronicles, but Ben Reilly being in this issue. Once again, I want to thank everybody for watching. If you're watching us live, if you're watching us after the fact, thank you for listening and watching us live. Leave a comment down below. I will respond. So I stand by the side of the road and I get 1 or 2 with a sign, "We'll dance for YouTube." I want video evidence of this, Douglas. I want
if Zach gets 100 more subscribers by the end of the year, which will put him well over 1,000, he will cosplay as Black Cat.
Hey, what the? No. I'm not. No. Spider-Gwen. I'm not doing your shit again. No. Bad, Walter.
But every time you do my shit, you gain subscribers, Zach.
That's such crap. That's such crap. No.
You shaved half your beard and you gain subscribers.
No. That was in spite of it. I'm not some monkey that you're like, that's for me, monkey. There's some weird shit on YouTube and maybe get some subscribers. No.
Wait till next year's bet. You're gonna love it. I already have an idea.
I done learned my lesson. Do you realize what happened that day that I came into work? I walked into and everybody went, like, what? I had people that literally did not recognize me. They were like, hello. They looked at me like, who are you? And I'm like, hi, it's me, it's Zach. And they're like, oh, what the hell did you do? Yeah. So no. Next year, okay. Next year, if I do a bet, it's gonna be, I'm just gonna shave the rest of the beard. I'm gonna leave the mustache. I'm gonna look like
You do the mustache next time.
Guys, before that show, before he did, I gave him outs. I did, because I felt kind of bad. I did, because I knew I had to shave my beard because they got to check my face for skin cancer. The very next day, I shaved my beard. Then again, I didn't really think the Bears were going to win, so. But I was trying to give him outs. But
listen. I am a man of integrity. If I make a bet, I will pay it off. It's like Marty McFly and chicken. So,
and if you really want to see the culmination of all what we've been talking about, Zach's shaving half of his beard, we actually
take a second account, subscribe and unsubscribe. He dresses up as Black Cat. Can he please not dress constantly as Black Cat? I'll unsubscribe. Yes. Thank you, because Brad understands.
Okay, Brad. He won't I won't make him cosplay as Black Cat. All right, I promise. I won't make him cosplay as Cat. I'm leaving. I will. Jackpot is still on the table.
I'm not doing it.
But we did a show watching the game together, and Zach will tell you this true. I was like the worst Bears fan on that. I kept on like, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. I'm like, they won.
To be fair, I was the worst Cowboys fan. You were the worst.
And then the very woohoo! If you cosplay as Aunt May, I'll cosplay as Peter, and I'll talk super sexy to you the whole time.
That's the next story. Nope. There's not a snowball's chance. And I love how we're talking about this. We gain more viewers as great. Like, hello to the extra person on Twitch. All right, so let's just get here.
This is all Brad's fault. He shows up in chat and everything goes haywire.
But all right, thank you guys for watching. If you're watching us live, if you're watching us after the fact, once again, check us out on the social medias. Check us out. Get us that 1,000 subscriber count. If you can do that at Spideydude Radio Network on YouTube, put in Spideydude. Yes. People just unsubscribed. Exactly. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. If you're listening to us after the fact on the audio edition, leave us that 5-star review. We do appreciate everybody for their viewership, and we will see you next time when I think we're covering Black Cat. I don't know. I'll have to look at the schedule.